Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome back to Stylist Meets Vinyl. My name is Chris. Guys, I have been busy recently checking out thrift stores, making some contacts online for some records, and I'm happy to say that I've found a few nice titles. And I'm really excited to be doing a new vinyl finds video. Now, I've got a little bit of everything in this haul here. We've got folk, psych, prog, blues, a little bit of even dance pop, you might want to call it. But let's get right into it right away, and I'll show you what I found. So, first up, this here. From 1967, this is Surrealistic Pillow. This is from Jefferson Airplane. This is their second album. Their first album with Grace Slick here. She joined the band. They had a different female vocalist before this, and she joined the band. I found this at my local shop. I'm really happy that this is actually, I discovered after I brought it home that this is actually an original pressing from 1967. It's in really nice condition. A little bit of like a tear up here, but other than that, I'd say it's like very good plus pretty much all around. And for an album that old, it's pretty good. So this is Jefferson Airplane. They started off as Jefferson Airplane, then they became like Jefferson Starship, and then I think they just became Starship after that as they went on, and a bunch of band members changed. But this is kind of the golden lineup here, and this lineup released a couple really good Psych albums. This one has got Somebody to Love, which is a big hit from them, and then also White Rabbit, which is an awesome song that if you listen to it, you gotta crank it up real high. So there's another one I think after this is called After Bathing at Baxter's, which is also a really good one that I've had my eye out for, but I haven't seen it yet. But this is the first entry, the first edition from Jefferson Airplane in my collection. I'm really happy to find this. Found it for a decent price at my local shop. So Jefferson Airplane, Surrealistic Pillow. I saw this when I used to live in Toronto. I saw this at a shop once, and it was priced at like $3 or $3.50, and I wanted to pick it up, but sometimes you see records and they're not like, they're cheap, and you might think like, oh, like awesome, I'm gonna get it. It's so cheap, but then you know that when you do that, like it's not going to be in good condition, and you're not going to be getting a good copy of it. So I held off, and I was happy to get this for a good price, and it's still in really, really good condition. Okay, next up, we're moving into, that's it for Psych, unfortunately, but we're moving into folk. This is Bob Dylan, bringing it all back home. This is Dylan's, shoot, I don't know, I want to say fourth, but I don't know exactly. This is from 1965. This in particular is a second pressing from 1967, but this is a great one. Up there amongst Dylan's best albums, in my opinion. You've got some really recognizable tracks on here: Subterranean Homesick Blues, Maggie's Farm, Mr. Tambourine Man, It's All Over Now, Baby Blue. So some from his hits, and then you pad that out with some really nice tracks in between those. So we were happy to find this at a really good price as well, and it's in really good condition too. This is like very good plus at least. All the way through. I have a really hard time with the near mint grading on records, because like what is near mint, you know? I could do a whole video on the grading system, and maybe I will someday, but I have a problem is like, once a record, if a record's mint, technically means it's not played, and then once you play it, it could still be perfect condition, but now it's considered near mint. And then it's like, so this one is like, it's very clean. I don't know. I have a hard time calling something near mint if it's really, really old, but it's quite good. I'm happy with very good plus, to be honest with you. I'm happy with VG plus. But anyways, moving on. Next is folk still. This is Gordon Lightfoot. This is Don Quixote. So actually, The first two that I just showed you was from my local shop, and then I was online on Kijiji, and I put like an ad out that I'll buy records from people if people are looking to get rid of something. And I had a guy, like, the very same day he responded to me. He told me that he's getting ready for a record show here in the town that I live in, and but he'd be happy to let me take a look at his records before he brings them to the record show. And I thought that was like really awesome, really nice gesture of his. So I went over to his place just today, actually. I met him, super nice guy. You can tell he loves loves music, has a really nice setup in his basement. And we had a good chat, and I made a good connection with him. And so the next handful of records that I'm going to show you are the ones that I bought from him. So these are fresh purchases. So this here, yes, this I bought for $1. This is Gordon Lightfoot, Don Quixote. I don't know this album at all. I think it's from 1972. Yeah, I don't really know this one. I just know that, like, Gordon Lightfoot, we love him. My girlfriend and I, we love him. Super good, like when you're in the mood to listen to something soft and something just kind of like that warms you a little bit in the morning on a sunny day or something. Gord is a good guy to put on, and so for $1, it's like you can't miss. There's a good thing about Gord is that all of his records are pretty inexpensive to buy, and if you keep your eye out, you can find ones in good condition. And this gentleman who I bought these records from, he had an ultrasonic cleaner at his house, and he play tested all of his records. So all of these records that I got are already clean, which is amazing, saves me the time from having to do it with my spin clean manually. So yeah, really clean, really nice. Don Quixote, haven't listened to it yet, and I don't even really know that many songs on this one, but I think Beautiful was a hit off this one, but I'm excited to give this one a spin. Okay, moving out of folk, now we're into some prog. Here we go. We've got the Straubs. This is Hero and Heroine. The Straubs are a band that I don't really know. I couldn't, you know, if I heard them on the radio, I couldn't tell you it was the Straubs. But I've heard about them, and I've certainly seen them a lot at the record shop. And it's not hard to find. Like this record, I've seen it probably 100 times. But the beautiful thing about this guy who sold me these records is that he had them all priced really well, and they're already clean, so you can take a look at them. Good lighting, you can take a look at them and see exactly what condition they're in. And this is in good condition, super cheap. And I thought, you know, like, what better time to check these guys out, the Straubs, than now? And I've heard that this is a good proggy album by them. And so, yeah, I'm excited to give this one a spin. Straubs, Hero and Heroine. Next up, this is a band that most of us are familiar with. This is Yes, Tomato, you know. So this is, I'm trying to remember what number of album this is by them. I should have done my homework a bit better, but so I have a decent collection of Yes. I've got their like 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th albums, and I've kind of had my eye out for like Drama, Going for the One, and Tormato. And I saw this, again, super good price. Couldn't really pass it up because in the record shops, not that this is an expensive album, but in the record shops, this is like $10, $11, $12, $13, and this was like a fraction of that. So yeah, no better time to check it out. Yeah, so I'm excited. This is from 1978. Okay, next we're into the dance pop, disco, post-disco, dance pop. I don't know what you want to call it, but this one is David Bowie, Let's Dance. This has got the this is in the shrink. You know, it's not sealed, but it's in the shrink. It's got the original price tag on it from Zeller's, $9.49. This album, so like I really love. We have Ziggy Stardust and we have Station to Station, which are earlier albums by Bowie. This is his 80s. This is, I want to say, 83. Yeah, 83. So this is like dancer, poppier, post-disco almost Bowie, which is not my favorite by Bowie, but you know, this was another one. It was like a good price, and it's like, okay, I should just add it to my collection. Obviously, there's Let's Dance on here, China Girl, and what is it, Modern Love. Those are the other like notable songs on this one, but this will be a nice little addition to the Bowie collection. Okay, next up, keeping with the dance pop dance, I don't know. This is ELO, Electric Light Orchestra. This is Discovery. So this is, I want to say, their 9th. Shoot, I really didn't do my homework on this, but this is their 9th. I think it's their 9th. Don't quote me on that though. And so my mom is a big ELO fan, and I got a bunch of her ELO albums. I got 5 or 6 of them. And slowly I've been listening to them, and I think like ELO's kind of like Yes, where like every time I listen to ELO, I like them a little bit more. Some albums are better than others. This album I didn't have in my collection. I think I'm slowly kind of chipping away of like, okay, I'm gonna add this. They're not expensive to find, and this one was certainly not expensive, and it's in really good condition too. This is the one that Bev Bevan, their drummer, so this is from 1979. Their drummer called it, so it's called Discovery. The drummer called it Disco Very. So it is a little bit disco-y, but there's some good songs on here that I know, like Midnight Blue is really nice. Don't Bring Me Down is, yeah, kind of a disco-y, like faster, poppier song by them. But, you know, I'm slowly just adding, I think, eventually maybe all the ELO to my collection. I'm not really sure, I haven't decided. As long as they're for a good price, I'll add it, and this was a good price. So, okay, now, I don't know what you'd call this, rock, 80s rock, I don't know. This is The Firm. For anyone who doesn't know The Firm, they are like a super group. So Paul Rodgers, who was the vocalist for the band Free, you think of that song All Right Now. I mean, they had a bunch of good songs, but All Right Now was their big hit. And then he eventually joined Bad Company, was the singer for Bad Company. After Bad Company broke up, there comes The Firm. And The Firm is, so Paul Rodgers, as I mentioned, and Jimmy Page from none other than Led Zeppelin. This album, I think, is 1985, and both these guys, well, there's a couple others as well. I can't remember the bassist and the drummer, but the drummer ended up joining Led Zeppelin. And, sorry, AC/DC. The drummer ended up joining AC/DC. Led Zeppelin was disbanded at this point, but yeah, so this is a little bit of a super group. I haven't listened to this yet. It's also in really good condition. I've heard about this album, but I don't really know too much about it, and it was another, like, a good price. That's what I loved about meeting this guy today, was that it was a great chance for me to take a chance on a bunch of records that I maybe wouldn't buy in a shop, because in an actual record shop they'd be a little bit overpriced, and the price was right on a lot of these. So The Firm, I'm really excited. This is their first. They only made 2. Their second one is called Mean Business, The Firm Mean Business, and it was less successful than this one. So the big ones on here, there's Radioactive and Satisfaction Guaranteed, and also Midnight Moonlight were the big ones on here. And the good thing too about a lot of these records that I got off this guide today is that they're not only are they in good condition, they're clean, but they're also they have like original inners and original liner notes. So that was really nice. Okay, next up we have CCR, Creedence. This is Chronicle, the 20 greatest hits. As like a vinyl guy, this is gatefold. As a vinyl guy, I feel almost guilty, like whenever you buy like greatest hits album, because it's kind of like, you know, albums were made to be listened to, like regular studio albums were made to be listened to front to back. And then once you start cherry picking the hits off of them and putting them on one, then it's like you're depriving yourself of the cool other tunes that are on these albums that they're taken from. So I just bought, in my last Vinyl Finds video, I have Cosmos Factory. And Cosmos Factory is awesome. That's their 5th, and this has a bunch of songs off Cosmos Factory. And I might end up getting more Credence, but you know, to have them all in one place, again, it was a really good price. I'm like, I just want to add this to my collection. So, okay, next up, we're getting into the blues now. Okay, we have the debut album from George Thorogood and the Destroyers. This is self-titled. George Thorogood, so I have, I found at a yard sale last summer, I found Move It On Over, which is their 2nd album. And I really like it, actually. It's got Ride On Josephine and, the Bo Diddley one, the name escapes me right now, Who Do You Love, which I really love George Thorogood's version of both of those. And, you know, he did a lot of covers. He wrote a couple songs on his own, but he did a lot of covers. And this one has got, oh, sorry, did I say, no, Ride On Josephine, it's Move It On Over. Move It On Over and Who Do You Love were on his 2nd album. This one's got One Bourbon, One Scotch, One Beer, and Ride On Josephine, which are both covers, but I really like his versions of them. And you know, it's a good like blues, like modern, you call it like modern electric blues. And this was dirt cheap, and it's in good condition. And I'm good with having those two kind of George Thorogood albums. So next up now, okay, so those were all the albums. I got 8 albums from that guy that I mentioned. I met him on Kijiji. And then I also found some thrift shop finds and got really, really good prices on these. I haven't played them yet, so I don't know what condition they're in. The covers are a little beat up, but I think all of these are from 1970. So this is to Bonnie from Delaney. This is Bonnie and Delaney and Friends. Or Delaney and Bonnie and Friends. Delaney and Bonnie were like a husband and wife duo from the 70s, early 70s, and so I first heard of them because they played with Eric Clapton. They have like a live album with Eric Clapton, and I've got a greatest hits from him that has songs with Delaney and Bonnie and Friends. And that's how I first heard of them. I know that Dwayne Allman plays on this album. And so I saw it. It was at the thrift shop for 50 cents. Like, hell yeah, let's add it to the collection. I have to clean it up. All of these are a little grimy, but I got to clean it up and give it a spin. But I'm pretty excited for this one. Just to kind of pad, you know, I've been saying like I want to pad my blues collection a little bit. And excited to kind of just find some cool finds that, again, like if it was at the record store, I probably wouldn't take a risk on it, but for 50 cents, is like, go for it. Okay, this next one is called Undercurrent. Music from the Underground. This is a compilation. You can see the acts here. Paco, Donovan, Redbone, Hollies, Sly and the Family Stone, Spirit, Edgar Winter, Catfish, Shuggy Otis, Jeff Beck, and Argent. So I saw, and immediately what stuck out for me with Jeff Beck, Beck's Bolero is on here, Edgar Winter, Sly and the Family Stone. So this is going to be like bluesy. Shuggy Otis as well, Shuggy's Boogie, which is a really cool song. So this is going to be like bluesy and then also maybe a little bit like funky almost. Again, I haven't spun it yet. This is not an expensive album. It's like, I think on Discogs it's like $3.50 or something. But I bought it for 50 cents, and I think it'll be a nice comp to add to my blues section. So, excited for that one. And then the last one that I found also at the thrift shop is James Gang Rides Again. This is the 2nd album from James Gang. James Gang, so this is from 1970. James Gang is like Joe Walsh's band. Well, it's not really his band. They were formed and he joined them, but Joe Walsh ended up joining the Eagles in 1975 for Hotel California. That was his first album that he was on with them. And this has got the Funk Number 49, which is the one that I know from this one. But I'm excited to check out the rest of them. The cover itself isn't in great condition, but we'll see. I'm going to give it a clean and we'll see how it sounds. So yeah, James Gang Grinds again. So that is it for my vinyl finds. I hope you guys liked that. And I'm actually planning on getting a few more albums in the next couple of weeks, so hopefully I'll have another Vinyl Finds video up in the next little while. But stay tuned for that, and be sure to come back here again. Like, subscribe, whatever. If you guys like my stuff, please subscribe, please like. But come on back here again where Stylus meets vinyl. Thanks everyone. Take it easy.